We live? I think we're live. So, hopefully we're live. What's going on, everybody? If we're live, the notification went out. Hopefully we're live right now. Got my coffee. Got my telephone. Telephono. Gonna check and see who is out there. Who is out there? Hello. Is there anybody out there? Seriously. Let me tell you something. It's as if we... Really, come on. Who didn't see this coming? Seriously, who did not see this coming? Stevie Wonder could have seen this coming. So it looks like Snake Eyes is Jeremy called it unmitigated disaster. So now look, we have the typical websites, Polygon, IGN, talking about it. Entertainment Weekly. Ooh. Listen, I warned everybody. I absolutely warned everybody. Says, don't get your hopes up. This is going to be a disaster. I was hoping it was going to be good. I was hoping, but hope only takes you so far. Got my coffee. Look, see, it's got the letter C on it. So I remember it's coffee. If it was F, would it be for feet? I don't know, I'd be drinking feet now. Let's take a look at some of these reviews here. Entertainment Weekly, Snake Eyes review, Henry Golding's G.I. Joe reboot. See, here's the thing. Casting Henry Golding is a mistake. I just don't buy it. Another unnecessary origin story. Why focus on these characters before they actually get interesting? Well, because they wanted a vehicle for Henry Golding. That's why. What would G.I. Joe look like without white men, American flags, or even U.S. soldiers? Something like this, apparently. See, now, that's the thing. It's always been an American thing. It's always... For those, oh, no, it's not. Like, yeah, it's always been. Listen, I wrote before everything went down. I wrote a documentary about the history of G.I. Joe. It's not a big enough deal to be a disaster. Well, disasters go and come in all forms, great and small. But here's the thing. G.I. Joe has always been an American thing. You know, it's always been, G.I. Joe. You watch MASH, movies. Before everything went down, I wrote a documentary about the history of G.I. Joe, which I'm going to finish at some point. Because it's actually very good, if I say so myself. It's always been an American thing. It's always been American. You know, you try to sell it, repackage it. It works, sort of, but, you know, in the UK, you try selling it as Action Force. You have Duke, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed soldier wearing an American flag, wearing an American flag on his sleeve, taking the American flag up to the top of the Statue of Liberty. Really, I mean, it's always been an American thing. Always. And I'm not saying that to be jingoistic or xenophobic. It's just always been something that's intrinsically American. It was always going to be a tough sell overseas. After two 21st century films based on the beloved 80s toy franchise that pits a crack team of soldiers and spies against a global terrorist menace, Cobra, 2009's G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra, 2013 G.I. Joe Retaliation, the latest cinematic outing focused on one Joe in particular, the silent assassin Snake Eyes, here played by crazy rich Asian heartthrob Henry Golding. He looks kind of goofy to me. I don't know. Well, okay, he's usually silent. Probably the single coolest member of the Joes, and certainly the most visible and recognizable to those only tangentially familiar with the franchise. Snake Eyes is known for his head-to-toe black armor, his skill with a sword, and the fact that no one really knows anything about him. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins aims to fill in some of those holes with mixed results. We meet Snake Eyes, who finally gets dialogue, a face, and a backstory, but still no name. Working as a fishmonger with connections to the Yakuza. When the gangsters order him to execute his best friend, Tommy, and played by Andrew Koji, for betraying the organization, Snake turns traitor to and gets Tommy to safety. For this heroic act, he is welcomed to the family training grounds of the story ninja family, the clan Arashikage. There he is both trained and challenged, especially by the Arashikage security chief, Akiko Haruko Abe. I'm doing really well with the names. Who suspects that the mysterious newcomer is hiding something. There's plenty of reason to worry. Cobra is active in the world, led by the Baroness, Ursula Corbero. They want something the Arashikages have. A mystical artifact. Oh boy, mystical artifacts. Here we go. That might as well be an Infinity Stone. For all its unexplained power and plot function as an all-important MacGuffin. Snake Eyes is another installment of that genre so common now. Origin stories meant to simultaneously appeal to both fresh faces and longtime fans, but fans who have loved Snake Eyes for years, precisely because of his silent but deadly demeanor, may bristle at Golding's charming, talkative take on the character, while new viewers may wonder why they're supposed to care about characters like the Baroness or have her opposite number, Scarlet, Samara Weaving. These important figures in G.I. Joe lore, but they remain on the periphery of this film, as if they're just around to wave at the audience like, "Hi, don't you know who we are?" Scarlet and Snake Eyes have a storied relationship in most G.I. Joe stories, but barely interact here. See, that's the thing. If you don't understand the story, and Larry Hama wrote a fantastic story for the origin of Snake Eyes. Why aren't you using it here? Speaking of which, it's a shame that Snake Eyes doesn't utilize Golding's romantic side in more in general. It's understandable that he may want to avoid typecasting of his Crazy Rich Asians breakout, hence the turn towards this action franchise and Guy Ritchie's crime movie, The Gentleman. But Golding still has lots of on-screen charm and develops some fun chemistry with Abe's Akiko here. Romantic tension would be a fun way to spice up the proceedings. Who wrote this? Christian Holub. Okay. Okay. Akiyam, romantic tension would be a fun way to spice up proceedings, and the lack thereof may just as well reflect a recent trend in all ages movies that eschew kissing completely so as not to reduce their female characters to their relationships with men. Before the film ends, there's a brief girl power moment, oh boy, reminiscent of Endgame. Or the fact that as an origin story, the character dynamics aren't even crystallized until the end of the film. Don't be fooled by the trailer sporting that shot of Golding locking Snake Eyes' iconic visor. It's one of the final moments before the yeah. How did we know? How did they know he was going to put on the mask at the very end? Why not start the story where things get interesting instead of ending there? Because they want to give Golding face time. They want to give Golding face time. And he wants face time. That's what this comes down to. All that said, there's one question that's probably on everyone's viewers' minds walking into this movie, no matter their relationship with G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe franchise or their general attitude about origin stories. How are the fights? They're kind of fun. Casting the raid star Iko Iwais as the clan Arashikage's so-called hard master is a smart choice, and Iwais gets a few chances to show off his hand-to-hand fighting skills that launched the raid film to upper echelon 2010's action cinema, as you might expect from a movie about a bunch of ninjas There are sword fights galore, and many of these battles have interesting angles. A sequence where Scarlet cleans out a room of Cobra agents, for example, is shown entirely from the viewpoint of a smartphone camera she's using to chat with the clan Arashikage. Unfortunately, director Robert Schwenke, Red and Ripped, uses a lot of razzle-dazzle, and too often the quick cuts and close-ups obscure the action rather than highlight it. So he wants to go for Bourne. Earlier this year, The Hollywood Reporter reported that Paramount is already developing G.I. Joe movie meant to pick up where Snake Eyes leaves off. That forward-looking attitude will come as no surprise to viewers who will watch this film and spend its entire runtime just maneuvering its characters around into their actually fun and recognizable roles. But instead of constantly kicking the good story can down the road forever, why not try harder to make these films more interesting in and of themselves? Grade C. Oh, check this out. What would a movie like G.I. Joe look like without white men, American flags, or even U.S. soldiers? Something like this, apparently. When a movie is too woke for EW, that's saying something. Well, the story's about a ninja, so why wouldn't he be Asian? Oh, glad to know you think. Glad to hear you think only Asians can practice martial arts. Boy, talk about leaning into negative stereotypes. It's okay. Like I said, really, we ooh, the Globe and Mail saying so G.I. Joe action spin-off Snake Eyes is a soulless soul deadening exercise fit for dishonorable discharge. Ooh, that hurts. Now I don't know this site from a hole in the wall. Somebody named Barry Hertz. So this is probably, I think this is a UK site. Globe and Mail. I don't know what this is. Is anyone going to remember this? This is the real question. Rise of Cobra wasn't a huge hit. Which is why Retaliation had an overhaul, like it made money, but didn't make Transformers money. Should have kept silent and hooded. Maybe we got 17 people here. How's it going? Martial arts is for anyone who wants to protect themselves until the woke keyboard bitches. Yeah, that's true. Movies. The movies are back. Canada. Oh, it's a Canadian site. Movies are back, Canada, and so too is big budget Hollywood franchise garbage. Ouch! I don't mean the kind of mindless but diverting garbage that makes for a decent low-stakes afternoon matinee. I'm talking about through and through irredeemable trash. The kind of disposable, lazy, head-slapping work that makes you wonder what the whole fuss of movie-going was about in the first place. Oh, don't hold back, man. Come on. This is good. This is ultimately what Snake Eyes represents, I suppose. That there are enough hardcore G.I. Joe devotees out there demanding that a third movie based on the toy series be brought into this world, 8 long years after the entirely forgettable G.I. Joe Retaliation was released. But even they don't deserve this crass attempt at exploiting a teensy tiniest brain cell of intellectual property imaginable. Watching Snake Eyes, full title Snake Eyes or G.I. Joe Origins, is not a painfully physically demanding ordeal. But it is emotionally harmful one, a soul-deadening exercise that approximates satire, minus the self-awareness. Wow. Wow. Revealing the hidden story of someone's favorite G.I. Joe hero, Snake Eyes, runs through a slow chug of an origin story. Turns out the ultra-skilled and super mysterious Snake Eyes was once just a low-level Yakuza enforcer. That's the thing. That's the thing they're getting wrong. That's the thing. They're just. How many? Oh, for God's sake. played by Henry Golding, who gets wrapped up in an extraordinary interesting feud between two warring Japanese clans. Think of it as a poor man's Tokyo Drift of the G.I. Joe franchise, except that this series makes it to installment number 9, a la Fast and Furious. I'll be happy to jump off Mount Fuji to my bloody death. Wow. There were training montages, back alley, and highway chases, all choreographed, shot, and edited so choppily that you're better served closing your eyes, like Snake Eyes, aptly named fighting guru, the Blind Master, Peter Mensa, and simply listening to the sounds of swords clashing and gunshots echoing. Akin to this spring's similarly embarrassing Cruella, Snake Eyes is determined to offer entirely unnecessary background information. We find out, for instance, the unintentionally hilarious reason why people call our hero Snake Eyes, as well as why he felt the need to sign up with the GI Commando Force. The last part is aided by bit appearances from fan favorites, and there goes my battery. Recast from previous movies because Sienna Miller has better things to do these days. Sienna Miller didn't like being in the first movie, from what I remember. But really, Snake Eyes is just a D-level samurai adventure with flecks of brand awareness peppered through. Didn't I say that all along? Peppered throughout, the better to distract us from the fact that no one is trying all that hard. This regrettably includes Golding, who exudes none of the charm found in Crazy Rich Asians, A Simple Favor, and The Gentleman. Wait, I take that back. Someone is trying here. Indonesian martial arts phenomenon Iko Uwais, cast as the Blind Master, counterpart named Hardmaster? I don't. It's awkwardly worded. Fights against all the director Schwenke's worst instincts at every possible opportunity. Wow. But aside from a few seconds of Uwais is kicking minor butt during the film's final attack sequence, the world's most skilled action star is utterly wasted, which is a crime far worse than anything that G.I. Joe fought G.I. foes Cobra could hope pull off. Say it ain't so, Joe. That's pretty condemning. Rolling Stone, Snake Eyes, Yakuza Ninja's Origins, oh my. Spin-off involving the series' most popular enigmatic character provides an interesting franchise detour until it very much doesn't. Ooh. I wonder what Red Letter Media is going to say. Because those guys are about the right age. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Over the next several days, we create the evening and the day and the light and the dark waters of firmament, movies, and the military-industrial complex and various corporate marketing divisions. On the fourth day, he created Hasbro. Click of the toy makers and watch it dream up so many ideas for action figures. One was a large line of burly soldiers in various types with beards and some without, all with scars upon their cheeks. Ah, they are like Barbies, but for boys, the Lord thought. They called them all G.I. Joe, and you shall know them by the trail of easily swallowable accessories behind them. If these toys fell out of fashion, these people at Hasbro would consult those from the land of Marvel, or so the legend goes, and together they concocted an idea to do another line. Yeah, that's about right. Also named G.I. Joe, these smaller, varied, real American heroes included many vehicles, villains, ninjas. This pleased the Lord. He did love them. He did love him some ninjas. Comic books and animated series with TV will help spread the gospel, according to St. Joseph. The government issue far and wide. Toys became very popular, especially... Okay, yeah. Stop trying to be funny. Leave the jokes to the professionals. On the fifth day... Okay, come on. But then a few new characters... Okay, yeah. Lord was confused. Why... So he watched the Lord said, this was not bad. In fact, it was highly serviceable. Yakuza drama. Detailing... Okay, hold on. Probably Yakuza named Kenta, approached fighter, infiltrated rival organization, yada, yada, yada. If you could pass 3 challenges, the Snake Eyes would be bona fide member of the Yoshikage clan, in addition of the homoerotic tension between him and Tommy, which even the Lord was picking on. There was internal conflict brewing within Snake Eyes when he betrays his new family, forgoes lifelong quest for vengeance to protect vengeance. Oh, for God's sake. We're doing another generic red. Yeah, there you go. See, another generic revenge story. Young man who fought in the cages for money vowed to avenge the death of his dad. Oh, another generic revenge plot. I knew it. I told you guys. And the seventh day, God ended his work and rested, because even for him, enduring this whole endlessly puerile blockbuster mishigas one more time was, if he was being honest, divinely exhausting. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like it's getting lambasted. Oh, boy. Again, like I said, who could not seen this coming? Phrasing. Let's check the news here. The best G.I. Joes always know. Polygon's going to love it. Oh, it's so diverse. So diverse. He's bringing his sword to a gunfight, and that's badass. G.I. Joe fan favorite Snake Eyes. He's not a joke character, but he is very funny. The sentiment... Oh, God. Sentiment is arguably applicable to every G.I. Joe in existence. It's hard to take a bunch of characters seriously when they start out as action figures premised mostly on American soldiers, but named like sports cars. You're an asshole, pal. What's your name? Joshua Rivera. Oh, let's take a look at Joshua Rivera. What does Joshua Rivera? What does Joshua Rivera? Let's see. Where Joshua Rivera? Let's search Joshua Rivera. Guarantee he looks like... Oh, it's this douche. Oh my God, he is a douche. What the? He's an actor? This can't be the same guy. Polygon. Can't be the same guy. Can't be the same freaking guy. Let's see. Okay, well, it's hipster. He's a hipster douche. Okay. Well, that answers that question. Yada yada yada. Ninja. Okay. In the film, Chris plays title character, child with no name, witnesses. He has a freaking name. They just never mention it. Snake Eyes was in the freaking army before. Witnesses his father's murder, then grows up to be a cage fighter by night and a fishery worker by day. Currently living in Los Angeles, Snake Eyes is a drifter, only real motivated by finding his father's killer. This desire ropes him into a secret struggle when a crime boss known as Kenta Takiro Hira offers him work among the Yakuza in exchange for the identity of his father's killer. When that work involves killing Tommy Arashikage, another friendlier underworld heavy, Snake Eyes refuses to save Tommy from the gang that wants him dead. Does every martial arts film have to have a fight scene that takes place in the rain with neon? This turns out to be incredibly fortuitous. Tommy is secretly the heir of the Japanese Arashikage clan, a secret society devoted to protection in Japan. They're kind of like the League of Shadows from Christopher Nolan's Batman. Hey, I got an idea. What if we have like the League of Shadows, but with like ninjas? The League of Shadows were ninjas. Yeah, but these are like ninjas. Yeah, but the League of Shadows was ninjas. But these are ninjas. Okay, shut up. All right, go play in the corner. But good guys, owing Snake Eyes his life, Tommy offers him a rare gift and opportunity to join our Arashikage clan. And with nowhere else to go, Snake Eyes accompanies him to the new benefactor's ancestral home in Japan. There is dramatic irony here. One of the few enduring bits of G.I. Joe lore is Tommy's identity as Storm Shadow and his eventual rivalry with Snake Eyes. This means Snake Eyes is full prequel work. Its script is preoccupied with answering questions viewers may or may not care about. Get ready to learn how Snake Eyes got his name and his sword and his motorcycle and his suit. Why he has no other name and really does just go by Snake Eyes all the time. And of course, why Snake Eyes Tommy fell out, like in Zola. What? Zola? Fortunately, Snake Eyes... It just sounds like they're trying to make excuses. Perhaps the biggest relief Snake Eyes, despite initially grounded opening as Schwenky category, does serious take on G.I. Joe franchise, memorable selling military industrial complex to children, and in comics where his unprecedented success given writer Larry Hama a platform for finally showing off his full range of powerhouse talent. Movie offloads bigger question about what the franchise looks like in the 2020s and leaves potential future creators to figure that out for their own installments. Instead, the film chooses the traffic and vibes and the cool aesthetic, of cool story about modern day ninjas in Japan. That superficially will likely mean Snake Eyes will solely preach to the converted. It's an appeal. It's not going to preach to me. It's an appeal to the lizard brain. Swords, cool ninjas. Hell yes. If, however, your fandom has evolved to a point where you want to interrogate said coolness, and suspect that the tropes on display here may do a disservice to the culture they ostensibly pay tribute. Oh boy. Then perhaps you have outgrown all of this and you don't need anyone to buy you more toys. It helps that Henry Golding comes across as a capable action star like Snake Eyes and doesn't make a terribly good impression first act, but things start to get more ridiculous. He becomes a grounding presence as G.I. Joe presence a G.I. Joe movie needs. While film seems like it's going extremely self-contained, about an hour into the filmmaker is extremely interested in reintroducing the audience to the wider world of G.I. Joe. The pivot is abrupt, but it's also the point where the movie leaves relatively grounded revenge tale in favor of full-on goofy Saturday morning cartoon antics. Well, it sounds like they had two scripts. It sounds like they had two scripts and they just stuck them together. Oh boy, this is bad. Collider. Snake Eyes review. My kingdom for fight scenes you can actually see. Henry Golding's extremely charismatic co-stars are great in a movie that is not. Wow. Make no mistake, the entire king is deeply attractive. It means Snake Eyes is... I have no idea who you would cast. That's the problem. I have no idea. Oh, well, who would you want to see? It doesn't matter who. Well, they give it a C. And again, there is Golding, who makes a movie like this at least a little worth it. Golding's emotional backbone is Snake Eyes, selling the inner conflict of the movie, which for all noise and blunder is really a fight for the main character's soul. Fortunate, then, that Golding is the soulful actor. A quietly expressive one. Snake Eyes' emotional through line works where the action doesn't because it only has to pay out across Golding's face. It's the type of performance that puts me, the reviewer, in the unenviable position of being honest about the film's quality, which means he'll lose his access. But still desperate to see more Golding in biggest projects as possible. Not only a full package of leading man, but specifically as a Malaysian leading man. There you go. In an industry that wouldn't let Jet Li kiss Aaliyah. Aaliyah was underage, wasn't she? Aaliyah was freaking... Hold up. Hold up. How old was Aaliyah? Aaliyah was born at the turn of the last century. Oh, she was 19. Well, she was at the turn... Yeah, she was at the turn of the last century. Oh, she was very young. Well, maybe Jet Li had a problem with it. You ever think of that? Jet Li was... Okay. So even if Jet Li... How old is Jet Li? Jet Li's 58. Okay, the turn of the last century, he would have been 38. It would have been probably 37. And Aaliyah would have been probably around 19, 18, 19. Maybe Jet Li said, hey, maybe he said, listen, she's a little on the young side, okay? Listen, I don't feel comfortable doing it. Okay, no problem. But what better way to illustrate dissonance between Hollywood's most exciting up-and-comers and the franchise films they're forced into than this? The main goal of Snake Eyes, the end game, is to put Henry Golding under a mask. What, would it make you feel better if it was a white guy going under the mask? I mean... let's keep going. Forbes Snake Eyes review. Choppy action editing hurts ambitious G.I. Joe reboot. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Yeah, Aaliyah was... She was nice. Hey, Chad, I never saw the cartoon. Is it like He-Man for kids, X-Men, or Batman? It's hard to just... Steven Anderson, watch the miniseries that are on YouTube for free. The remake was supposedly 3D conversion. This is why you don't let identity politics and woke zealotry influence Hollywood. Yeah, you're right. Screen Rant. Snake Eyes movie series won't make me... Okay, that's from a month ago. Variety. Origin. Henry Golding rules. Oh, of course, Variety's going to love it. It's a better G.I. Joe movie in no small part because it looks almost nothing like a G.I. Joe movie. Then you don't want to see a G.I. Joe movie. Snake Eyes is probably about as good a movie as you're going to get that has the words G.I. Joe in the title. Maybe it's because... Okay, I don't want to see this here. How do I get rid of that? It's because it seems to have very little to do with anyone's conventional idea of G.I. Joe. It's not square-jawed, mildly jingoistic, heavy weapons combat orgy. But that's what you want to see. That's what you want to freaking see. Like G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. No, you not so much a combat weapon orgy, but the previous two installments of the Hasbro action-inspired franchise films. It is rather darkly atmospheric, sleekly scissor-limbed ninja combat orgy. A tale of vengeance and notably nobility and scheming set in Tokyo, where the title character, Henry Golding, a moody drifter who saw his father killed by shadowy forces, joins the Arashikage clan, 16-year-old ninja dynasty, but only because he's on an undercover mission of sabotage. Okay, stop this. Snake Eyes is directed by Robert Schwenke. The Divergent series Insurgent has style and verve, diabolical family plot. Creates... For a kids movie franchise, it's pretty good, but the main headline is this: Henry Golding has to be seriously considered for the role of James Bond. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, seriously, he doesn't. Snake Eyes makes it clear he's got the beauty, the cool, the glamour, and the danger. The magnetism is essentially an essential Bond quality, ability to telegraph most lethal thoughts to the audience without saying a word. I will be the judge of that! Golding Snake Eyes got his nickname from the way his father died. An assassin infiltrating a safe house and asked the father to roll a pair of dice. It came up Snake Eyes, which meant... Really? 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 Did I just read that sentence? Did I just fucking read that? That is the stupidest shit I've read all day. And I have read some stupid shit. Oh my god. My brain hurts. My brain hurts. When we meet our hero as an adult, he's a cage fighter, beholden to nothing but his own preservation. So when Kenta Takahiro Hira, a Yakuza ringleader with a close-cropped hair and imperious... Oh. You're really reaching here. Claims Series of 3 tests. Listen, you want... This is making my brain hurt. What we learned before long, Snake Eyes is serving two masters. Goldie makes him see Soul of Honor, and the man longs for... Oh, for God's sake. He's torn between loyalty and vengeance, or rather between two types of loyalty. Since vengeance he seeks is about loyalty to his father. He's tearing himself... Boy, you're really reaching here. Schwenky turns the clan compound into a mossy garden of suspense, mixing blazing motorcycle rides and fights in the rain against hot splashes of Tokyo neon. The movie culminates in a war for the Jewel of the Sun, an incendiary gem that can basically blow anything up. So it's a Dragon Ball. It's a freaking Dragon Ball. Or an Infinity Stone. Snake Eyes is, of course, an origin story. But what struck me watching it was how much that form now bridge franchises and genres. G.I. Joe isn't quite a superhero, but the movie sometimes feels like a Marvel kickoff with touches of Batman Begins. It's got enough pulsating action for its own sake that at moments it could be a Fast and Furious spinoff. The villains who are hooked up with the omni-tentacle terrorist underworld syndicate Cobra might be the masterminds in almost any outsized global thriller. By the end, when Snake Eyes learns that his father was a quote-unquote, oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, God, you... Oh, the stupid hurts. The stupid hurts my brain. We're pinned for the entire G.I. Joe series to become a reboot of itself. Movies now seem stuck in rerun mode, but the pleasure of Snake Eyes is that it succeeds in making a rerun almost feels like something you haven't seen before. All right, so it's not... So, listen, when I was reading the Marvel comic, they were highly trained special forces. They were the best in their field. They were highly trained. They can go into any situation and they can come out quickly, effectively. Thank you, Mr. Motorcycle. Now, want to become a Joe? We're special ops. It's because your father was a Joe. Yeah. Let's see what the chat's saying. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for crying out loud. I imagine Snake Eyes is looking like a Rocky Horror. Seems to me Hasbro is becoming the new Habsburg family. There's me reading He-Man reviews. Ugh. Oh my God. The stupid hurts. It really does. The stupid absolutely hurts. Cinema Blend. There's enough to appreciate Snake Eyes to call it a mediocre movie, but it's tough because there exists so much potential to be better than it is. The drama is muddled, action is murky, and the storyline can't help but get goofier and goofier until, by the end, every attempt to make this movie makes to ground the G.I. Joe series gets blown up. It's hardly the worst G.I. Joe film series delivered, but it's certainly least interesting. Wow. Even as a piece of pulp entertainment, with only so many standout characters, there are not enough offbeat choices or interesting circumstances to make Snake Eyes more worthwhile. Wow. The true sin is that Snake Eyes, as a character, is so deathly dull. He barely has any personality. He is purely driven by revenge. Also, doesn't seem to have to work all that hard at anything. Yeah, because he's an Asian man. As shamelessly corporate popcorn movies go, Snake Eyes is better than most. That's not high praise, but considering the film's dopey pedigree, it's not nothing. Oh. Up next, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origin Review. They meant to retitle this Storm Shadow Cobra Origins, right? So Snake Eyes is a he's a side character in his own movie. Modern franchise filmmaking Origins plays a key role since added greater depth. Oh God. Though it was why? Because the title of the film suggests Henry Golding's central protagonist is the main event. Co-star Andrew Koji winds up pulling off one of the more impressive spotlight-stealing performances in recent memory as Tommy, the friend of Snake Eyes, whom eventually becomes the villainous Cobra agent known as Storm Shadow. This inherently isn't a bad thing, as there's nothing generally wrong with the supporting player outshining the lead. But the circumstance does encapsulate what is ultimately the biggest issue with the movie, a lack of focus, as it weaves the story of how Snake Eyes goes from being an orphan to an elite member of the counter-terrorist G.I. Joes. The film throws a lot of plot at the audience, and while it has a number of solid stretches, it also regularly feels jumbled and not entirely confident in itself, which is a criticism that applies to the narrative and this action aesthetic. Scripted by Evan Spiliotopoulos, Joe Shrapnel, and Anna Waterhouse, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins begins with the titular character's tragic backstory. But the backstory was already tragic. Watching his father get murdered by a group of mysterious mercenaries as a child, and catches up with him as an adult, lives drifter, going city to city, winning money in underground fighting competitions. He's directionless beyond his desire to get revenge against the men who killed his dad, and this makes him an easy seduction target for Yakuza boss Kenta, who offers Snake Eyes information about the mercenary leader in exchange for the talented fighter to work for his organization. See how bored I am getting this? Weeks later, he's working at the port of Los Angeles, cutting open fish, so they can be used to discreetly ship weapons. But operations stop when Kenta arrives and tells Snake Eyes that he must kill one of his co-workers, the aforementioned Tommy, who is a spy from the enemy clan. He opts to save Tommy's life instead, and after fighting their way through Kenta's men, they escape to Tokyo. Snake Eyes learns Kenta, okay, yada yada yada. Okay, yada yada yada. Nobody cares. Between Snake Eyes' duplicity for Shikage's. Okay. Henry Golding is good in Snake Eyes, but Andrew Koji is great. Lots of handheld cinematography prevents the actions ever popping. Messy is a good adjective to also carry into this conversation about the action of Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origin. This is a franchise title that, thanks to its premise and ensemble, has the opportunity to feature some of the best fight sequences in Hollywood has to offer outside of the John Wick films. But it's an opportunity squandered. Robert Schwenke demonstrates real love for the use of handheld shooting scenes, both sword and gun play, and it's understandable logically, it's cinematography that lets the audience feel like they are getting a first-person perspective. But it's mostly a failure practically. The film features a number of intense car chases and showdowns on highways, on rooftops, and in alleyways and snake pits. But it's constantly hard to get a beat, not get a beat on what's happening because the camera's constantly moving around. It's frustrating because there's a lot of stuff you'd love to get a clear look at, such as a brilliantly skilled Iko Uwai is one of the masters of the Arashikage clan, single-handedly taking on a collection of ninjas, but you can't because cinematography doesn't allow it. Seeing the situation from the director's point of view, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is a PG-13 movie, meaning that it needs to feature bloodless sword fights, and that fact may have forced Shrinky's hand as far as showcasing violence. That's only an excuse, however, and doesn't make up for how vexing the action can be overall. It's surprisingly been 8 years since the last G.I. Joe blockbuster, with John Chu's G.I. Joe Retaliation released back in early 2013, but time hasn't done much to improve things as far as quality is concerned. There is enough to appreciate in Snake Eyes to call it a mediocre movie, but it's tough because there exists so much potential to be better than it is. At the very least, it could be been retitled Storm Shadow Cobra Origins, given due to respect for the true star of the show. Yeah, so this is not going well. Oh, for God's sake. Mecca, this is just like your He-Man review. Yeah, this is bad. You know, let me pull up the freaking... Let me see if I can pull up the G.I. Joe comic. G.I. Joe 26 comic. Marvel comic. Let me see if I can pull it up here. See if we get some... Because the complaint I kept hearing was... complaint I heard from Larry Hama was like, oh, if we did it the way the comic, everybody would be in their 70s. Well, but the thing is, you can update all the aesthetic details. All the stuff, like, all that stuff you can just update. I mean, it's not hard and fast that everything has to be set in Vietnam and Iran. See, this is where part where Storm Shadow saves Snake Eyes. There's Stalker, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes. See, and now this is actually a good panel. Hopefully I can bring it up here. Not secure. Well, I want to open the image. Okay, here we go. See, this is what ties them together. I was the first on board with the comm gear and the code book. Snake Eyes was covering from the tree line. Everything seemed copacetic until the sky got filled with red tracer, and Snake Eyes went down like a rag doll. The Huey was a sitting duck. I ordered Tommy to leave Snake Eyes. I was sure he was dead, but Tommy dropped his ruck and sprinted back through the crossfire. I expected the Huey pilot to lift us out of there. Let's see, we got... See, this is far more interesting. I don't understand why you can't go with something like this. There we go. Looking for Tommy and Snake Eyes, I was wrong. See, the pilot, see, he's carrying Snake Eyes, and see the tattoo? The Arashikage clan tattoo here. The big thing is they kept saying... See, the big thing they kept saying was, well, if they were in Vietnam, they'd be in their 70s. I got 5% on my phone. I got to hook it up to the charger. But the whole thing is, like I said, you can update Vietnam to Afghanistan and, you know, Iraq or Afghanistan. You can have it take place all in the Middle East. I just called Records Division at Leonard Wood. Tommy's unpronounceable name translate directly into English as Storm Shadow. See, there you go. See, and he comes home. This is far more tragic a story. Nobody... there's Hawk, actually. That's Hawk. Nobody except me. I was a good 4 hours late. I was driving to the desk at headquarters when a message came through the office that had to be dealt with quickly and tactfully. It took me over 2 hours to drive to that airport. I must have been rehearsed what I was going to say 1,000 times. But I really didn't have anything to say. He knew from when he saw my uniform. And the look on my face, he knew. Like I had seen the whole horrible scene through his sister's eyes. Just before the car his family was riding in got smeared across the interstate by some stoned out vet who'd come back from Central Highlands with a funny look in his eye and a morose disregard for highway safety. He loses his whole family in one instant. See, the meaning Scarlet? The whole thing is scanned. I mean, but like I said, this is a far better... This is a far better origin. Yeah, but I understand they want, oh, Henry Golding. Ooh, Henry Golding, he's a... Ooh, big heartthrob. Ooh, but, oh, can't have another white guy. But you're not giving me anything that's better. That's the thing. Apparently something awful happened to the photo and to Snake Eyes. His sister was killed with his parents in a car crash on the day he came home from the war. He said the photo should have been a talisman. For her safety, not his. I remember thinking that for a guy who had been through as much as him, he sure didn't have a lot of meanness in him. See, this is far more interesting. See, and there he is. He's at the airport waiting. Nobody came to greet him. This is far more interesting. Far more interesting. But no, you had to... No. That origin... Oh, no. That... You don't know what you're talking about. We are going to make something better. You're going to like this so much better. And just casting Henry Golding was their way of... It was their way of critic-proofing it. That's all they wanted to do. They wanted to critic-proof it. See here. You want to embellish this story. It's fine. I mean, but this is ultimately a better story. Like an arrow. Your friend Tommy, my nephew, promised you a place in the family business. So, suitcase in hand, you came knocking the gates of the family estate. Of course, we all knew about you and decided to accept you into the firm even before you had stepped into the main audience chamber. I was vice president in charge of finance at the time, and I was called the soft master. My elder brother was president and lifetime chairman of the board. He was called the hard master. The only son of my late younger brother, the man who you knew as Tommy, was junior partner with full voting rights. We simply called him the young master. See, like I said, it's far better in origin. But no, But the other thing was, like I said, they obviously they don't want, and the other thing they don't want to muss up Henry Golding's face, no doubt. Yeah. Oh no, you can't do. Oh no, you can't do. I'm sure his agent must have lobbied for that to not have the disfigurement story. But the other thing too is. The whole thing about this, again, I mean, they act like we're idiots. They really do. Oh, yeah. Comics fans are stupid. They'll buy anything. See, this is the moment where the hard master is killed and Snake Eyes has to root him out. But again, the whole thing is that it's all predicated on him being a gaijin, being the outsider. And this is where's the helicopter crash? This is when he comes back and he's disfigured. His face is bandaged. And I understand it's difficult to write for a character that doesn't speak. But there's ways to do it. If you're a skilled enough writer. But these writers aren't skilled. That's the other part of this. These writers are simply not skilled. I have it saved to my hard drive, but I could probably... Yeah. Okay, well, this is... where did I save it to? This better not be porn. No, okay, we don't want to do that. Okay. Okay, yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, but the other thing too is here is, it's kind of a low res scan here. She's training martial arts. See, there's the flicker. Somebody who saved the flicker. Oh, okay. So, like I said, they're on a hostage. It's Operation Eagle. It's Operation Eagle Claw from Iraq. From Iran, rather. It's 1970, the late 70s, 79. There are 4 of us in that lead shopper, rock and roll, grunt, and snake guys, and me. See, again, you introduce other characters, too, now. We were flying real low. The doors were open. The rotors were kicking above us as we descend the Sahara. See, Grunt was wondering if the planning honchos had thought to refit the helicopters with dust filters in the air intakes. That's when the engine stalled out. See, okay, there's... Scarlet gets trapped. The door slams and Scarlet gets trapped. And... Let's see, hopefully we... No, okay, we're not gonna... That's not the right panel. Okay. Where the heck is it? Okay, not there. Okay, see more. See more butts. Want to see more butts? But okay, but it's related images. It's over here. I'd be able to call it up just about any time I wanted to, but now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. There it is. But this is how he gets disfigured, though. And imagine, like I said, if you came to Henry Golding and his agent, he goes, listen, it's going to be a helicopter crash, and your character gets hit across the face with flaming aviation fuel. And he said, nope, no way, no, out, no, can't do it, sorry. So he tries to rescue, in a selfless act, he tries to rescue Scarlet, and he pays a horrible price for it. But even though he pays a horrible price, he rescues her. He rescues her. Because that's what a hero does. See, that's what a freaking hero does. There's a little bit more detail, a little bit. See, they must have retold the origin. They retold the origin a few years back. See, that's what a hero does. Heroes make those kind of sacrifices. They don't think of themselves. But this is, I mean, you have the nuts and bolts of a good story. Why aren't you using it? I really don't understand. I don't understand what made you think you could come up with something better. Oh well, diversity. You had diverse characters. By Bologna, I thought heroes just put on masks and say corny lines. Go to Read Comics Online, see the entire comic. Yeah. Actors, I'm not watching to see you on screen. I'm watching to see the character you're playing. Yeah. I'm convinced you and Rob are Beavis and Butthead. Haha. Bevo and Buffcoat there. One thing I pointed out to when I was writing the G.I. Joe documentary was that you had, listen, for all the talk about diversity and You have characters, you have women in combat roles, and you have representation among, you have a lot of, you have black guys, you have Hispanic guys, you have Asian guys, Asian people, you have Asian women, you have, all kinds of representation. Native Americans. And I'm not just talking Spirit. Airborne was a Native American. He was very low key about that. Tales of G.I. Joe. That issue number 2 for some reason is more valuable than issue number 1. I don't understand why. But we've got, like I said, this will be it for another 8 years, or who knows if this movie does well. This movie does well. How much is it projected to make? Let me see how much it's projected to make. Movie box office. If I can spell projections. Weekend box office forecast. Old and Snake Eyes open exclusively in theaters as a top 4 traffic jam looms. What are they projecting for Snake Eyes? No, I don't want you to show me notifications. No, I don't want you to show me notifications. Given non-franchise nature, okay. Hero genre, typical lines of female audience, element moviegoers. Visits, Universal, old. Ultimately, walk-up is important for Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes stands at 52%. Really? Wow. Holy crap. G.I. Joe prequels is likely to be less impacted by critics, but demand for an original film where word of mouth will be crucial versus potentially front-loaded franchise pick with softer marketing, although both had strong presence during the NBA Finals, should make for an interesting race to first this weekend. Both films hold previous Thursday night. How many moms are going to drag their kids to see Snake Eyes? Oh, the Henry Golding. I'm trying to find the projections here. Forecast, here we go. Opening weekend range 13 to 19 million. Domestic total range 35 to 55. That seems really low. They're projecting the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie to beat it. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. 15 million, 3-day weekend forecast. Projected domestic through Sunday. They're projecting 15 million? That's it? 15 million? Oh shit, no, I don't want to say that. 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. Holy crap. This one belongs back in the toy box. It's as though Schwenke was operating from a checklist of expected action movie cliches and hurries through them all. Unfortunately, director Robert Schwenke, Red Rip, uses a lot of razzle dazzle. Okay, we read that one. It's too polished to be a war crime, but it's also too bland to be a decent summer movie. By the end, it's no better than a mediocre superhero effort, except it's even worse. Potentially to be more. Okay, we read that. Oh, there's a positive review. Actually, it's not really positive. 2.5 out of 4. Golding nails a combo of authority and low-key humor that the title role asks for, suggesting that after using 2 different actors to play Snake Eyes in previous 2 G.I. Joe movies, they finally found their man. Nah, they really didn't. The pieces were there to create a special movie, but instead, Snake Eyes is a crudely assembled film that bores where it should thrill. This film isn't going to sell anyone a new G.I. Joe movie franchise, but it's maybe the best possible version of the movie designed to test those waters. That's not a good review. This is the kind of summer movie you'd watch on a whim or perhaps out of sheer boredom. Only to be surprised at how legitimately awesome it was. Bernard Boo, Den of Geek. Bernard Boo. Then again, he liked On the Rocks. He was Star Rashida Jones. He likes Spider-Man Far From Home. Bernard. You know, he's... let me see this full review. How many times are we going to see diversity? So, apparently that's Scarlet. Surprised they didn't race swap a redhead out. The biggest thing that Snake Eyes gets right is his casting of Henry Golding as the titular iconic masked ninja. Not only is it nice to see a character played by an Asian... There you go. There you go. There you go. As well as giving up till now a silent character a voice that fans can get behind. And director Robert Schwenke treats material seriously while remembering to have fun along the way. Incessant line, which is considering how desperate character final act, both physically dramatic and Golding's up to task here. Takes a more personal ground level approach. As an action martial arts movie, Snake Eyes is rock solid, but the story pulls you in. More riveting than he is right to be. This is the kind of movie some of you watch and win, perhaps sheer boredom. Oh, yeah, I'm not buying it there, pal. Snake Eyes seems to me to have a very specific problem, that it is no fun. Wow. It's frequently a dull parade of sloppily filmed action cliches and no talent acting by some of the movie's cast members. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins doesn't look like money well spent. Carla Hay. Wow. 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 Snake Eyes is just a bland continuation that failed to explore the mystique of a character far more intriguing than the film with its name. Swing and a miss here, guys. Swing and a miss here. Jermaine Lussler. Snake Eyes isn't a bad movie, but it's not a good movie either. Isn't a bad movie, not good. It's kind of sitting middle as suitable way to pass a few hours of your time, but something you'll instantly forget about the second the credits roll. By the end, it's no better than a mediocre superhero effort, except it's even worse. But there was potential here for more. Okay, So yeah, so this is good. This is not good here. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah. The people who give it positive reviews, I'm like, I'm wondering what you're seeing in this. The only reason why they created Snake Eyes as a character because to cut down on paint and make the action figure that was pretty inexpensive. So they just cast it all in black plastic. The true sin is that Snake Eyes' character is so deathly dull. He barely has a personality. A bombastic, slick, convoluted, unnecessary second-tier action franchise reboot. For an ostensible action hero, Henry Golding is in the title role. Does an awful lot of standing around looking tense. Yeah, this is not good. Oh, well. Better luck next time. Better luck next time. See what the chat's saying. That a movie is so stupid but hilarious. I thought we were getting over these boring movies once we got snakes on a plane. I thought so too. Well, how long have I been going here? Almost an hour? Let me see. Started a woman ago. So, anyway, yeah. So it's looking like Snake Eyes is gonna. Snake Eyes is shooting blanks here. Like I said, we didn't see that coming. I don't understand. Like I said, it didn't have to be this way either. I don't want to go see this. I really don't. I really don't want to see it. Because it's gonna be stuck in my brain that there's gonna be yet another bad G.I. Joe movie. He's infertile. And this was they were hoping to revitalize the brand with this. That was their hope. We're going to revitalize the brand. New toys. Gizmodo. When Gizmodo is saying it's not good, that's trouble. Oh, brother. All right, I think I'm going to wrap here. So, okay, guys. We got 16 people watching here. I think I'm going to wrap. And so it looks like Snake Eyes is a dud. Like we couldn't have seen that one coming. Really. Okay, so is Mecca, you streaming? I might stream some Truck Sim in a little while. Won't be till a little later, though. Mecca, you going to stream? Bobby Bologna, I don't get what they think they're doing. Only 80s people want to see this and there's specific expectations, yet these people want to subvert it. They're confused as to why it flops. Well, that's ultimately the thing. They're gonna sit back and they're gonna say, "Well, all right, guys, what happened? We don't know what happened. We had a guy that was a bankable star. We had all the action. I don't know what happened. Racism. Yeah, that's it. Racism. No point to racism. No." Yeah. Okay, so Mecca's got a He-Man rant going up. So check her new video out. Should be going. Should be up shortly. If you aren't getting YouTube's doing a thing where it's not sending out notifications. Bookmark both our channels. Check them regularly because YouTube is up to some shenanigans, some chicanery, and I don't get to use the word chicanery very often. So okay, guys, Snake Eyes Origins is a dud. We kind of saw this coming. That's going to be it for me for now. And I'm going to sign off. Like, subscribe. Both my channel, Mecca's channel, whomever's channel you like. You know, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell us how much you like us or how much you don't like us. But most of all, we like bringing our stuff to you. As dumb as that sounds. Thanks for the memory. All right, everybody. I am not Bob Hope, and I will